Yeah, this definitely has coarse language and spoilers.
Hey guys!
Thank you for joining us. Today we're switching it up and we're going to try and talk about a super hot topic that's going on. It's, I guess, the 2018 version of I Love Amelia, but this time we get it with Darling in the Franxx, which has been like a pretty big show this year. It's a A1 Trigger crossover show, and it's a mecha melodrama kind of show featuring teenagers using weird sex positions to pilot robots. That's kind of it. That is kind of the show. So
It's
today,
a mecha-themed teen drama. There's barely even mechs in it. Mecha-themed.
Yeah. Mecha team drama. So today I'm joined with Comrade Kavrik. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm eating strawberries right now, and they are delicious.
Ooh, that sounds juicy. That's fun. And I'm also joined with the birthday boy Sinris.
Hey, thank you.
Happy birthday. Nothing
Fun
like
fact, I actually recorded a podcast on my last birthday, too. So this
Whoa.
is a nice coincidence. We did the Monogatari one last year.
I imagine that one will be slightly more fun, but at least you get to talk about something that has caused death threats on your birthday, which is the exact opposite of what you want to do. So, yeah, this has been, like, a pretty big deal. Like, as if most people are following the anime sphere know that, I'd say, like, the past 2 or 3 weeks of Darling in the Franxx have caused some big talking points and discussion. But amongst all the, like, contentious arguments, we've gone too far, as we expect, and the makers of Darling in the Franxx have actually been getting death threats from salty fans watching who want the screenwriter to be fired and or killed, and they want, like, apologies released. And this is not just, like, this isn't just, like, a rumor. Like, there was an anime news article on it. So this has been a pretty big deal. And it's all over, but I don't have a meme. There's no, like, meme I Love Amelia way of talking about it. It was pretty much just coming down to the waifu wars of 02 versus Ichigo. And specifically, like, especially over Ichigo's actions in the last episode, which have kind of generated opinions, everything from Ichigo did nothing wrong, to Ichigo needs to die, to the hashtag Bichiko.
Yeah, that's a pretty good hashtag. I mean, it's creative.
It's creative. So I'll start with you, Cav. What did you think? What did you think of everything?
Well, I wouldn't say that Ichigo did nothing wrong, but if you kind of just follow her, like, position, what she knew about the whole situation, it would make sense what she had done. So yeah, I don't know. It's like people just fail to take everything into account what she knows, what she feels, and yeah. I mean, if they're, like, so hard on 02 Squad, well, yeah, then probably that's how it is. But, like, if you just think rationally about it, everything kind of makes sense, like, from the logic side point of view. I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of failed to detail exactly what happened, because I kind of assumed everyone had watched it, but just to detail, like, the last episode. We started off, like, after there was a huge flashback episode where we revealed that, MC-kun and 02 knew each other in the past.
MC-kun.
He's gonna be MC-kun, that's what I'm going with. He's not hero tier yet. So MC-kun and 02 knew each other in the past. They both had, like, a very strong encounter that was very impressionable on them, and then they got separated. And then, while this whole, like, flashback is going on, 02 is, like, strangling MC because she's going through this mental breakdown. Then, flash forward to episode 14, where we kind of see the ramifications of this, where MC-kun is in the hospital, separated from 02. They just want to talk to each other and talk it out to confirm, like, that they both had the same flashback and that they have both had the same encounter in the past. Ichigo is trying to keep them away, both out of concern for MC-kun, but also because she loves him and doesn't want to see him with 02. Miscommunications happened where they kept getting separated and stuff. 02 kind of beats the shit out of the crew when she thought that they tricked her, and then MC-kun finds her doing that and calls her a monster. It was very sad. And then
Very sad.
Very sad. And then
I'm so sad.
I cry every time thinking about this. But then like, 02 gets separated from MC-kun to go fight this super mega important battle that's coming up. And as, like, MC-kun wants to run after her, Ichigo stops him, and she confesses to him, and she kisses him, and then, coincidentally, Goburo sees that happen, and he, like, walks away. And like,
literally who? No one cares about him anyway.
Yeah. So that happened.
Excuse you?
Yeah, he's, like, the only character I like. I care. But then...
Well, the script writers do not care about him.
Yeah, that's true. He gave, this irrelevant, but he gave the, like, cucked smile. The, like, you just got NTR'd smile.
Yeah.
It was my favorite. It's, like, this slight smile. It's so bad. I hate them. It's so dank, though. But, like, we gotta include that. I wish I need to make that my avatar, just that smile. But, so, I think, like, what I've observed of it was, like, miscommunications galore, teenagerness galore. But also, like, I agree with you that, like, for up until the, like, last part of it, I think Ichigo did nothing wrong. Because they do play up how MC-kun and 02 are in this, like, very seemingly, like, abusive relationship. Like, she's strangling him and he's in the hospital.
She literally tried to kill him. Like, she straight up said she was trying to kill him.
Yeah, she also keeps saying, like, I'm trying to kill him. And then we're just kind of like, oh, but do you mean it? Like, she kind of means it sometimes. So, it's a very dysfunctional, abusive relationship. So it makes sense that people would be concerned and want to keep them separated from each other. Like, that's a pretty logical thing. But then, I think the big contention point is at the end when she kisses him and makes it all about her. With, like, oh, I'm gonna...
It depends how you view it, actually. Because, like, from one point of things, you could think it's her being selfish.
Yeah.
But you could view it from the different, like, angle and believe, like, she's trying to comfort him. Like, 02 is gone, but you still have me, and, like, I'm not any worse. She wants him to feel not down. So it's not all that selfish to me. Like, there is, like, different points of view.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, I think that's kind of a stretch.
Yeah, it might be a stretch, but, like, there are different positions.
Yeah. For reference, I am 100% on the Ichigo side of... I don't know, I don't really think this is a waifu war, because it's not like there's anybody who actually thinks that, like, Ichigo should be with Hiro. Like,
but they might. I've gotten replies on Twitter that Ichigo is 100% waifu material, to which I hit him with the uncomfortable man looking at them, which is, like, very sus. I was like, haha, that's like, I don't think, I think Ichigo is, like, not a waifu.
Ichigo is not a waifu, but she's a pretty good girl.
Well,
Ichigo is definitely my favorite character in the show so far.
Okay.
And I think that... So I was headfirst on the hate train for most of this show's runtime, and then it was just in the last 3 or 4 episodes that it's managed to turn things around for me, and now I'm totally on board for whatever it's trying to do. But I think Ichigo strikes me as a really interesting character, in that we're seeing now this internal conflict between obviously her crush on Hiro, but also her duty as the leader of the squad. And we had seen that come up briefly before when 02 was first introduced to them, and she wanted to kick 02 out, and she was super inhospitable, but eventually she came around, and she ended up being, like, the friendliest one out of the whole group to 02, and, like, welcoming her in and trying to get everybody to work together. Until this shit happened with 02, like, literally trying to strangle her friend to death. And I think it's totally understandable after that she would want to keep the two of them separate. Because she tried to give 02 a chance, and 02 proved herself to be totally unstable and potentially deadly if it
even,
left
like, in
alone
the same
in
conversation.
Yeah.
Like, in that conversation, she's like, you're just trying to use MC-kun, and she's like, yeah. Like, she didn't even try to be like, because she doesn't trust humans and all, and we get it, but she's like, hey, like, I want to give you a chance and let you redeem yourself for strangling my friend and putting him in the hospital, and then 02 was like, nah, fam, fuck him. Like, essentially. That was the message I got. But yeah, please continue.
Right. So, what I thought was so good about episode 14, which is the most recent one as of when we're recording this, at least, is that in that conflict between 02 and Ichigo, you can totally see where both of them are coming from, and it's hard to say that either of them is in the wrong, at least for 90% of the episode. So Ichigo has very good reason to believe that letting 02 see Hiro would be very, very bad for Hiro's health. And 02, we can see from the scenes of her when she's alone and not interacting with anybody else because she's being isolated from the group, she seems like legitimately like ashamed of what she did, and she wants to talk to Hiro to like apologize and figure out what happened in there and try to make things right. The issue is that neither of them are really willing to communicate with each other. Except, I think Ichigo gives it more of a shot than 02 does, so I'm leaning a bit towards the Ichigo side of this.
Yeah, for like context as well, I know everyone loves 02 because like she's hot and like has like licks lollipops and honey and shit. But like for context, she's been a massive bitch the entire time. Like the entire show, she has like not warmed up to the group. They've tried to include her, and like that's been met with like half-assed attempt on her part. And I get why she's like not good at human communication given her backstory, which we did see. But the problem is like they've been inclusive towards her. They've included her. They haven't given her shit. They haven't been treating her like the other squads have, and they haven't been treating her like a tool. And she's still being an asshole to them.
Right, exactly.
Well, yeah, but she knows that like those people are temporary for her.
Yeah.
Because she will like consume Hero and move on, and stuff happens and like that. So it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, but
yeah, I do not get like whole consuming love towards her, but I see why she is acting like a bitch, basically.
Yeah, I get it, but like I agree with Sinner's point that like at least Ichigo is trying. Like she's trying to let her save herself.
Ichigo, I would say that being Ichigo is suffering. Even more than 02. Way more than 02, actually.
I don't know if I'd say that.
Everyone is saying like that 02 is so poor that she like was being humiliated and tortured and like was being experimented on and stuff like that, and then she was like separated from Hero and stuff happens. But being Ichigo is more suffering, actually. That's relating to like meta commentary. Because she's irrelevant. Completely. She's irrelevant to the main character because he never looks at her.
Being a childhood friend is suffering.
She's irrelevant to the plot because the plot doesn't care about her as well.
That is true.
She's just a pawn here. She like never does anything. She's just here, like I don't know, cannon fodder, and as a result, she's irrelevant to the public. Yeah. Everyone is looking at 02 because she's so hot, as you have said, Sha. And yeah, no one cares about it. She has like no redeeming qualities of like having like a quirk of some sort, like having a meme around her. She's just here an annoying character who's like trying to separate one true ship. She suffers the most from the attention from everything, like from viewers, from the plot, from the characters within the show. So when she did what she has done, no wonder everyone was like so upset about it.
Yeah,
I guess that's a fair thing to say. That's a good point, Kev. That I think she's been developing just fine as a character, but she hasn't really had any defining character moments until this episode. So the fact that her first like big moment, first time she did something that would really stand out to people, was like ruin everything for Waifu Prime, was pretty much guaranteed to get a negative reaction from the community.
Yeah,
I actually liked it because it was kind of bold.
Yeah, I like the
Somewhat
tip.
Force your way into the spotlight.
I
Don't
mean,
let-
I don't know. I don't know why people are still upset because like 99% chance they're still gonna be together. I mean, Hero and Zero Two.
Well, I think we're the one thing we all agree on is we are all anti-death threats. We all think that is wrong. Do not
Yeah,
do
I mean,
death threats.
Opposed to death threats.
I want to death threat everyone who death threats the writers for the show.
God damn it, Matt. We wanted to have one common point on this. We can't have nice things. This is why we can't have nice things.
Yes. But yeah, I like how bold it was. It wasn't bold as I thought it would be, because like everyone was like so freaking out over this episode of like, okay, I'm like 5 episodes behind. I'm gonna cut up to this. I saw it and was like, it's kind of mild.
Yeah, that was
Like-
my response. I was more triggered. Okay, this is... God damn it, trigger puns. But, no, so like...
Don't
for
call it a trigger show, Sha. It's a collaboration.
the collaboration.
Yeah, it is a
like,
collaboration.
I was collaboratively triggered by this, like... By how, like, bland this was in regards to, like, the comparisons being made. Because I saw... What made me catch up... I was on episode 2... And so I watched 12 episodes of this in a night to catch up to this damn thing. Like, binged it. I'm like, I need to know what the people are talking
shit.
about. And then I kept seeing Ichigo be compared to, like, Griffith. So I was like,
Hitler?
oh my god. Like, Hitler, I saw her compared to, like, the worst of the worst. So I caught up, and I'm like, that's it? These dumb weebs are bitching over this? Like, that's it? And then, like, I compared it earlier to the I Love Amelia thing. I think that one has so much more, like, fire behind why it was such a controversy compared to this.
Yeah,
Like, that one made
exactly.
sense. Then I watched this, and I'm like, first off, I was kind of triggered because I'm like, these guys are boring as fuck. Why are these guys so mad over these clowns? And then I saw this, and I was like, oh, this is just, like, standard, like, confession bullshit. Like, not standard, but, like, you know, it's just over, like, misunderstandings and confessions. Like, and as you said, Cav, it's episode 14. We have, like, 10 episodes left. They're probably gonna end up together. This is not a big thing. We don't need to send death threats over this, or ever. Don't do that. Do not send death threats over your waifu losing. But,
Unless it's
Yeah.
the best girl contest.
yeah. No, that they go to me then. No, don't send me death
Oh
threats.
yeah, never mind. Don't send Sha death threats.
I'm gonna get so many death threats now. But then, yeah, I was just so triggered over, like, why I was like, you guys are being dumb. Also, and I'm not, like, I feel very neutral on this in that I think mistakes were made across the board. I don't think 02 is really compelling outside her backstory last episode, and I don't think she's compelling as, like, a romantic interest for a hero, because she keeps abusing the shit out of him. Like, you can't just keep strangling dudes and then expect no repercussions on this. And I kind of like how, I do agree, like, when you guys said, I like how Ichigo kind of just, like, stood up and, like, took control over it, because I do think that there are a lot of comparisons between their relationship and, like, real-life abusive relationships where they're just kind of accepting it as the norm.
I will say I did really like how the most recent episode portrayed 02's, like, regret and shame and grief after everything that she did. I agree. I don't think she's a super interesting character. Because her whole "I need to kill Klaxosaurus to become more human" thing doesn't make any goddamn sense, and we haven't been, like, given any perspective for how it could make sense from her point of view or anything like that.
Like, there's
So
no reason to think that. There's no
Yeah.
reason to think that she would actually do it. We know it's kind of more of an emotional thing for her, where, like,
Yeah.
if she kills more of the enemies, she feels like she's more human, but she doesn't. But it's kind of like,
But we
it's a
haven't
lot.
seen a reason, like, why she would feel that way.
I mean, I think it's more of an emotional thing, because it's kind of based off that picture book, where she's kind of like, instead of
Picture
consuming...
book, yeah.
It's like the whole picture book thing, where it's like the Prince and the Beast, where she's trying to become human so she can be with her darling. That's like
Right,
weird
right,
to say.
I get that, but, like, there's no connection between the idea of becoming more human and her conviction that, like, the way to become more human is by killing things.
Yeah, there's like no scientific evidence that her killing more things will result in her being human. Like, maybe it's some kind of emotional thing where she feels like she'll have more control over her human side, because the big thing is we have noticed her going through like a physical and mental breakdown in which like her horns are growing, her nails are getting longer, like she's less able to control her emotions. So maybe it's more of like a mental thing. I'm not really sure, but as you said, they haven't really given us any like reason to think that she has a correct line of reasoning and trying to kill more of this stuff.
Right. So I find that aspect of her character a little sus right now. But aside from that, she's growing on me. Ichigo I find just much more interesting and compelling in just about every way. Although I would not say that she did nothing wrong, because the kiss at the end was also a super sus thing. And that's what I think made her such a good character, is that beforehand I kind of appreciated like what she was trying to do to protect Hiro. But you know, it was straightforward, it wasn't that interesting. When she then took advantage of 02 being shipped off back to the Nines in order to like try to move in and take advantage of Hiro being abandoned and, you know, like,
yeah,
fill that gap, then that was a poor move, one that will have bad repercussions for everyone, both emotionally and in the upcoming mega important fight that they're going to get fucking destroyed in.
Also, I wanted to make something clear because this triggered me on the fan perspective. People talk about her kissing MC-kun in front of Gobro, like, whose actual name is Goro, but I call him Go-Bro. Like, it's wrong, but he's the bro. But people talk about her kissing him in front of Goro as if, like, she intentionally did that and it wasn't coincidental. And I'm triggered by that because that's one of the major things people are holding against her, because Goro, like, confessed to her and kind of accepted that she didn't feel the same. And, like, he coincidentally sees her kissing MC-kun. Like, it's not like she calculated it to make him see her. Like, it wasn't some malicious action on her part.
It is just a horrible trope of a teenage drama.
Yeah, that's like... So people were saying, like, I can't believe she kissed him in front of the main bro. And it's like, that was a coincidence. That was not her fault. That is the writer's fault for trying to introduce another layer of drama. Like, that was not her fault. You can't hold that against her when we already have, like, her being selfish to hold against her. So, like, stop complaining about that. Like, that's not a death threat type of thing. So, I wanted to clear that up just in case, because it was being, like, presented to me when I was trying to do research on, like, why this is so offensive, as, like, she kissed him in front of him, like, ugh, no, like, get over it.
Yeah, that's fake.
Fake news. But,
Yes, yeah.
But, yeah, so I think one of my main kind of problems is, like, you guys both find them, I think, compelling characters, and I'm still kind of just not, like, sold on the characters in the show. I think...
I don't find them compelling as well.
Wait, you tricked me. I thought you were liking Ichigo.
I'm not saying Ichigo. She's kind of interesting, but if I would say... If, like, you asked me who's my favorite character in the show, I would say none.
Wait, that's my answer. It's not fair.
Yeah,
that's my
because
angle.
They all kind of suck.
That's my thing is I was annoyed because I'm not disliking the show. I think there's some really good aspects, and I like some episodes. Like, I really did like some of what it was building to, and I think it's a very interesting kind of dynamic where they're in this super dystopian society where you kind of just get the impression that they're gonna die either because of fighting these weird animal things. What are they called?
Klaxosaurs.
Klaxosaurs. Yeah, they're either gonna die from that, or they'll outlive their usefulness and still get killed. Like, there's this constant feeling that anyone is disposable and can die at any point. So I appreciate this kind of atmosphere, which also adds a layer of tension to the characters that they need to succeed. Like, you need to succeed in being a mecha pilot, because if you don't, you're unuseful and you'll be an orphan or you'll just die. So that was another layer of annoyance I had for Ichigo kind of fucking shit up, because I'm like, you know, you just kind of separated him from his one lifeline that would keep him alive, even though it's also something that's constantly hurting him. And you also kind of fucked yourself up in this upcoming super mega battle.
Well, it's TBH hard to care if you do not know even what you're fighting for. Like,
yeah. But
for Ichigo, Hero is like the center of the universe, not like saving the world.
Yeah, that's true. Fuck the world. No one cares. Fuck these clowns.
Yeah, exactly.
But But it's kind of like, I don't really care about these characters too much. I think it's just, they're just like a lot of dumbass shit going on. And not the entertaining dumb shit, they're just kind of dumb with stuff. Like, I thought,
yeah.
like, I thought back to a few episodes ago, and it was, they had, like, their pillow fight or whatever, or, like, their feud, the girls versus boy war.
Oh,
and,
that was
like,
such a bad episode.
Yeah, like, the one girl finds a room of, like, one of the old, like, super old squad members from before their time, and they, like, acted like it was some mystery over who these guys were, and then 02 has to be like, duh, they were the old squad people who got killed. Like, this doesn't seem like a huge plot twist that you would get, you know, shocked over. Like, they know people are dying out there in battles. Like, why are they making it seem like, ooh, we might die?
Huge twist, yeah.
That's like dumbass shit. And I was like, don't make this dramatic. You know, you guys could die at any point. We were all on the same page of this. So I don't really feel that they're compelling. And
It's fine. It's fine. We know that Hira has a pretty thick plot armor. We learned it in episode 6.
Like, yeah, it's tough for me to care, which is, like, I don't know, I think that comes to everything when it comes to drama, but I don't feel like I can be fully invested in a war over 02 versus Ichigo when I don't care about either of them. Like,
I feel like Darlie Fry is just false prey of misconceptions, because many people were coming into it expecting a badass action anime like Gurren Lagann or Kill la Kill.
Yeah.
But instead they've got a teenage drama in a post-apocalyptic setting with mechas.
People
So-
expect every show with Trigger's name on it to be Kill la Kill. And
Yeah.
at some point
kind
they
of.
need to get over that, because Kill la Kill happened and it hasn't happened again since.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's not even an animation show. And yeah, it's like Kisnaiver, but in the different setting, pretty much.
I think
That's exactly what it is.
And I actually really liked Kisniver, which I know is
Same.
kind of unpopular in and of itself, because everyone likes to trash Kisniver for not being Kill la Kill. But, I mean, I really liked it too, but I do think that me having already watched Kisniver makes me not like this show, because I was like, I've seen this shit. I know how this plays out.
I can definitely agree with that. I think Darling in the Franxx has one advantage over Kisniver, which is the length. And I remember a lot of people talking about when Kisniver was coming out that they wished it was 2 cours instead of 1, because we never really got time to go into enough depth with most of the characters.
Yeah, that could have been a huge game changer, I think. That
excites
could have sold a
me-
lot more people.
Yeah. What excites me with Darling in the Franxx, though, is that now that it has gotten me on board, after the early part where I almost dropped it after the stupid, like, we're gonna put tape down the middle of our apartment to separate boys and girls episode. Now that the stuff is happening that I am actually interested in, and they're starting to show some, like, actual emotional conflicts between the characters that aren't ripped out of, like, the world's worst sitcom, and we still have 10 more episodes left to go, I think there is a chance for them to actually have the kind of progression and development and depth that Kisniver would have benefited so much from.
That's
Yeah,
true.
we will definitely have some plot twists and more teenage angst, that's for sure. Yeah, it's just the problem for me is that it's not a particularly good kind of teenage angst. We haven't had a good teenage drama in a while, like in a year, maybe more. Depends on how you feel about Kuzuno Hankai.
Which one?
Kuzuno Hankai. Scumfish.
Oh, yeah. I think I like that one more, because at least they were, like, they elicited extreme reactions out of me. Like, when they did the, Akane thing, I was pissed as fuck. I was so angry. Do not get me started on that. That's another pod. But that elicited, like, a reaction.
So yeah, we'll see how it works out, but as a drama, it kind of falls flat for me. Well, it's mostly because I really not fond of the 2 main characters, in particular, Hiro and 02. Because their relationship doesn't work, as Shah has said, but for me it's not about exactly their relationship, but how it is been built and how it has been progressed. So there is a rant about my rant about what Darlifra did wrong. So basically, I dislike many plot like twists it tried to introduce, especially Amnesia, which was a driving force of many like plot events and relationship of both Hero and Zero Two with each other because they were both having this amnesia, they didn't remember each other, and it was kind of dumb to me because it's so lazy. Like it's so easy just to make them forget and then like make them both remember when it was like shit going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would change some things to make it more interesting. So basically, what I would like to do is this is like one more segment of Kav trying to rewrite anime. Um, yeah. So basically, what I disliked is that episode 13 and them knowing each other didn't have that much foreshadowing and like leading towards it. So what would be cool is change the first episode like and rewrite it. Make it their first encounter more symbolic. Make them meet under the mistletoe because it's like the tree that they met like in the first place, like in the flashback. Like cut out this whole horrible, embarrassing fan service scene in the first episode, which
No,
was
that was symbolic. We need
which
that.
yeah, it was symbolic to make otaku watch this anime and then send death threats to the others. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, just make it more symbolic. Make it like more like make this arc towards the events that happened in the past. Like make this correlation. Like just make even the scenes kind of similar to each other, so you could see this correlation. It would be cool.
Yeah, I would
But
have appreciated that.
instead, it went for a cheap fan service scene, which immediately put me off from the anime. For example, also episode 6, which left me just flipping shit because
I don't even remember.
because
Which one is
it's
6?
basically
I'm looking
it's
it up.
basically Hero being in severe danger, like this whole tumor growing on his heart, blue.
Oh, that
yeah,
shit.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah,
oh,
and
ooh, that
then
cringy quote.
everything was magically undone because of the power of love when they like connected with each other.
She like unironically
like-
said, "I that hurts so good, doesn't it?" Or like it looks like it hurts a lot, but it's beautiful. Like go fuck off. Go fuck
it's-
yourself.
it's so cheap. Anyway, in any case, yeah, I rewatched this episode after the episode 13, and there was no foreshadowing at all. Like it was just basically solved really by the power of love and like their like magical connection, magical I don't know stuff. So what would be cool? Like they said that they both Hero and Zero Two remember shit because of their connection in episode 13 because like they were close to each other and she tried to consume him. Well, change this episode 6, at least show some flashbacks towards that scene because there was nothing of it in the episode 6. It was just like as I've said, magic. Just show that some kinds of memories were buried into the brain of Hero. Just makes this foreshadowing happening, and it would make fans speculate what this is about. You could go even further and make one of them remember this shit. And they would like confused and like change their personality for the next few episodes. And everyone would be like, what is happening? What's going on? Why is he acting so strange? Like either Zero Two or Hero. That would be cool. That would be like, and when episode 13 happens, one of them was like revealing that he knew all along that he was like, he knew that it was their fateful encounter. That would be cool. It wouldn't be like an amnesia.
Yeah, like if you actually had like Hero remember their past and that's why he's putting up with her shit, like that would be like
that would
like,
make sense.
that would make sense, and it would be like a cool subversion thing, because at first we just think he's a beta cuck, like, going after her because she's hot, and then we're like, oh, wait a minute, he knew about their connection the whole time, this makes sense. That would have been cool.
That would be like some kind of Code Geass shit, but it's like cool, it's still cool, yeah.
Well, now
I think you guys are being a little too harsh on this. Like, I think it's pretty clearly established that the reason he, at least at the beginning, that he's so fixated on 02 is because, like, he just lost his partner at the beginning of episode 1.
Oh yeah, the girl who's literally irrelevant, even more irrelevant than Ichigo.
Well, yes, because she literally disappears in the first 3 minutes and then you never see her again.
And he doesn't even remember her up until episode 14.
I don't know why he even, like, bothers, because she's obviously dead. Like, she dead. She done.
He isn't even in grief, really. He just sees 02 and, like, forgets about her at all.
Well, she does come up again in the episode where they go back to, like, the place where they had their childhood, and he, like, wants to
but, like, every single viewer forgot about it anyway.
Yeah, my point is that I think their relationship is a little better than you're giving it credit for. First off, there's the fact that they clearly have a relationship of some sort at all, which is, in and of itself, sets it apart from most shows. Second, I think that Hiro is not as, like, generic MC-kun as he comes across all the time.
Explain.
He's not great, but I think he's a little bit above the baseline. Because I like his backstory of having originally been and this is something that was just explained in episode 13 and 14. But how he was, like, originally the prodigy, which we had known, and then at some point, like, he lost whatever was putting him so far ahead of all of the other pilots.
I think it was like losing his memory.
Right, but what it ended up being is when he, like, after 02 got the cut in the flashback, and they, like, their blood mixed a bit, and now he has her blood inside of her.
Oh, is that the thing? That a thing?
So that's the reason why he can only pilot with her now.
Oh, I had no idea.
Because they literally have shared blood.
Why are they so bad at communicating this? Why did I not notice?
I thought that came across pretty clearly.
Nah, it was kind of, yeah.
Oh, was?
I just guess it, yeah.
Well, what I missed, and you pointed out to me the other day, Shaw, was the implication that they erased his memory after that flashback stuff. Because until that possibility was raised, I thought that was really stupid that he's met, like, these 2 dinosaur girls in his life and didn't realize until just now that they were actually one dinosaur girl at different times.
Yeah, but he's not that bad. We can't fault him for that. He's not dumb enough to think there are 2 dinosaur girls. But yeah, I mean, okay, that makes more sense. That's, like, why they have the connection. Okay, that wasn't actually an issue for me, but I do appreciate that. But I think the problem is, like, I do like his backstory. Like, I do really like that episode, and I like what it does for both of their backstories. But I think the problem is, even though we know this context, it doesn't really make him more interesting for me, and it doesn't really change that he was boring for the first 14 episodes.
No, that I agree with.
Yeah, so, like... So, like, I mean, I call him MC-kun mostly as, like, a tongue-in-cheek thing, but I don't, like, hate him. And I do think there is depth to him. I just have a problem with, like, how even though, like, he's got his memories back now, like, is he gonna all of a sudden be that interesting prodigy who inspired kids when he was younger? Like, is this gonna show a change in him, or is he still gonna be kind of boring and just, like, not that interesting? Time will tell.
What's going to happen now is that since 02 was taken away and Ichigo is delusionally convinced that she can, like, make the 2 of them compatible to pilot together, they're going
Which will not work.
It will not work. Things will absolutely go to shit in the fight. And then I think what will make or break the show is, like, the 1 or 2 episodes after they lose the fight. Because it's guaranteed gonna happen.
Oh, Teenage Shanks, yes!
We'll have to see if that either, like, smacks some sense into them or just makes them all super fucking dumb. Could go either way. But I don't necessarily have faith.
You're saying about will Hero changed? I think not, because He was fixated on Zero Two before, and he will be fixated on Zero Two afterwards. It won't be changed.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty confident on that one. I do
Unless Ichigo like brainwashes him that much that he's like sees her as a villain, which I don't believe she would be able to do.
Just like tag the show as like NTR mind break, like all of the like degenerate dojin tags for this, but like like all of that, and it's like, but yeah, I don't even know if Ichigo could like brainwash him. He was just kind of standing there and he was like sad and shit. I don't even know. I just
yeah, Ichigo is powerless.
She can't do shit. She can't even be relevant without getting death threats. Sad.
She cry kissed him and he did not react at all and then pulled away in half a second. Like there's nothing gonna happen there.
Well, obviously, yeah.
This is kind of a side note, but I wanted to give like I kind of did appreciate these few things where like I like how the reason I did notice though like that they like wiped his memory is because they played up the whole the obviously gay dude who's into Hiro as a kid, like how he was so upset that Hiro forgot their promise. Like, I think that was the big calling card. And I like how... I like that he's, like... I mean, I don't know if I'm just, like, imagining this, but he's, like, obviously a gay dude. Because he wants to ride with Hiro. And we know what that means.
Right. It is an obvious metaphor.
But I do like how, like, him and the girl just aren't compatible because, like, he's gay and has no interest in her. And I think she's probably a lesbian when they play the whole up, like, she wants to ride with a girl and thinks it can work out. But I do like how they kind of show it as, like, these characters are obviously homosexual and have no interest in each other or of the opposite sex, and in this dystopian society that doesn't work because
you think the show is that smart?
No, I think they did good, but they're not actually exploring it. They're just kind of making them like pouty in the corner because they're as irrelevant as like Ichigo. But I do kind of like I like that they kind of have that, even though I don't think the show would be like ballsy enough to be like, yo, these guys are gay. Like, these are actually canonically gay characters. Look at them.
Right, yeah, no way that's gonna happen. But I do
They're not gonna do
that. I appreciate the
nebulous
existence.
In any case, the main reason why I do not believe in Hiro and Zerotsu is amnesia. It's a really lazy device to me to use.
Yeah, I think it's lazy, but I do think it's not unfitting for this society where...
It's not unfitting, yeah, but still, like, oh, they forgot about all of this shit, and, like, it's now relevant, and, like, everything makes sense, and you could have no idea to guess it before. It's just so upsetting. Yeah. Apart from, like, opening for, like, this shot showing, like, them standing here under this tree. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. I mean, yeah. I'm coming across as like a bitch this episode probably. Like
you're not sounding like 02. Do not worry.
Yeah, but there are a few things I do like about Darlifra. More, I really like world building. What they're going for. How they are.
I think the world building is the weakest part of the show, but go ahead.
What? What?
How they're approaching the world. Like, I really enjoyed the Zorome episode where he was lost in the city.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
And he saw the woman who was like vaguely hinted at as being his mom or something like that.
Yeah.
It remembered me of a Kino no Tabi episode, but without Kino. It was like highly philosophical, and kind of revealing secrets of society, which is cool, which is really cool. And the whole concept of the world which doesn't need children, how it mistreats them, how it abuses them, and how they lost this ability to have children, something like that, why they don't need them. All of that is kind of intriguing, and I wonder how far they would go with it. And I feel like here, on this front, the anime could succeed, actually. It could not succeed, it might not succeed in, like, making a compelling teenage drama, but it might do well with this world building, how it all, like, develops and how it all ends.
I think the world building is depicting like the blandest dystopian society imaginable. Like, all of the stuff
But
you
it's
just said.
fitting because
like,
the story is bland in general. Sorry, I had to.
like, all of the stuff you said about, like, oh, the society that doesn't need children, and, like, the episode of Zurume, I liked it because it gave Zurume something to do that wasn't just be the worst person for once. But all the stuff about, like, oh, like, the adults don't know what love is anymore. It was the most ham-handed shit I've ever seen.
I mean, it's about the same as Violet trying to find what is love is. So
yes, like I said, ham-handed shit. So I would not agree with you that is one of the show's good points.
come on, I'm grasping at straws here. Please explain.
I appreciated it because it was something. Like, it was thought-provoking, and it added, like, a level of interest that I didn't have. That's how I looked at it.
Yeah, I like some directional tricks here. Like the flashback episode was pretty good.
I like
It
that
was
episode.
pretty solid. Yeah, if you just put aside the amnesia stuff, it was pretty important. It was pretty well directed. I liked it. But
Yeah.
like some of the plot points just bringing down the whole show, and it's kind of making me sad. We'll see where it goes. Obviously.
We will see. Because the cool part of being an anime original is we don't know what'll happen. That's the coolest part.
I hope they do not rewrite the ending based on these death threats, though.
I hope they don't take action because of these death threats. It makes me really unhappy and really sad because even though this isn't going to be my favorite show, I still, like, don't want to see people who are taking chances and, like, writing original shows, like, have a negative stigma around it because, like, weebs can't handle shit that'll get resolved in 10 episodes. Like,
Right.
Come on, guys.
Yep.
So the real losers is not Ichigo or Franxx, it's the weebs sending death threats. You guys suck.
I hope that they do change the ending because of the death threats to make Ichigo win the harem.
Yo, that's how we gotta do it.
Harem. I don't know. Hero doesn't deserve a harem.
He does have a harem because we're counting the gay dude. I'm counting him.
Oh, okay.
It counts.
Kev, Hero may not deserve a harem, but what harem protagonist does?
I want. You know what kind of ending I want is like humanity instrumentation project, but it just kind of became all one single subconscious, I don't know, entity, and like having sex with each other here. I don't know. That's all I can say. I think we should just stop here.
We'll take it back to 0 at some point. But no, that's
0-2.
0-2. 0-2 again. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I'm glad. Did you guys have anything else?
Yeah. Gotta start life with 0-2 in a new world. Yeah, I know it was horrible. Yeah, we gotta stop here.
Well, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for joining us again, Sinris, and then thank you to everyone who listened. I hope we didn't trigger you enough for death threats. But I mean, I guess better us than the creators. But don't send us death threats. Don't send us death threats. Thank you. Okay.
I mean, I'm gonna wrestle all of you.
Okay.
Send me death threats.
I'm gonna bear wrestle you. But yeah, thank you guys, and have a good day. Take care.
See ya.
Bye.